card mo.
Hi, good morning. Yes, what's that? Okay, this class has been recorded, and I think everybody's here now. We will start with the attendance in a while. Just waiting for others to be here. Hold on, class. Just send something. Okay, I hope everybody is here now. So please prepare to turn on your microphones. I will start with the attendance. So calling on Hankla,
Hello.
Newton,
Yes, present.
Mubin,
Hi.
Laiko,
Present.
Pamay,
Hi.
Aupan,
Hello.
Eclair,
Here.
Minya,
Here.
Prim, Prim. Hold on, is Prim in this class? Yeah, Prim. Yes, what's that? Look, I saw you turn on your microphone. Do you know where Prim is? Look,
Yes.
Vic,
Yes.
Eric,
Yes.
Hannah,
Yes.
Ruby,
Yes.
Bam, Bam Bam, Bam Bam. Calling once, Bam Bam. Calling twice, calling thrice. Evan, calling
Here.
once, Evan. Okay, got
Yes.
Pimi
Here.
and Kanomsen.
Yes.
So in my list, absent are Prim and Bam Bam. If you are here, please recognize yourself. Please respond if you are here, Prim and Bam Bam. Okay, if not, so that will be my record for today. Okay, so let's go to our presentation for today. I actually have prepared just a short slides today for our presentation. But before that, I would like to make this announcement once again. Reminding once again about the reference that I sent through Google Stream. It's actually for you to, if you want to review the lesson for that particular day, I have sent the reference link in Google Stream. And also, if you are absent on that particular day, then you can refer to that link and review and be able to catch up with the lesson on that particular day. So that will serve as a reference. And another thing, we will start with our regular lesson by next week regarding web design. So as I have mentioned yesterday, this will serve as guidelines or part of orientation. So today I have prepared about SOP slideshow. Let me share with you the slide. Okay, so it says there SOP. SOP as a short word for standard operating procedures. So what does standard operating procedures mean? We have been discussing about guidelines during the previous days, about rules and what to do online. And today I would like to summarize what we have discussed so far. And this will serve as our guidelines for the whole class during online classes. So SOP means standard operating procedures. Let's call this one SOP. Okay, so if you hear me SOP, that usually means to the standard operating procedures. And standard operating procedures means these are basically online classroom rules. Okay, so if you hear me reminding you about SOP, so please get acquainted that these are classroom rules, online classroom rules. So why are these rules important during online setting? Especially that we transitioned from the classroom setting into this online setting. So many of us or some of you might get confused. Okay, it might be confusing for you, like what to do. That's why I have set these procedures or these online classroom rules for us to follow and to be guided accordingly. So they are actually 10. And this is, for you, maybe it's not new, but let's discuss these things. So some of you might feel also out of place. Maybe you're just alone in your room. So you feel like, oh, I'm just alone here, out of place. So we need to have these routines needed to be adapted. So during this situation, especially during this pandemic, it is essential to set expectations from the get-go and repeat them often. So everybody needs this one. So rules are important in an online classroom setting. This will help minimize distractions. And at the same time, we'll be able to use the class time efficiently. That's why we have these procedures or these rules. for students to be able to learn in a pleasant and nurturing environment. So the following are the online classroom rules. Let's take a look at these rules. So the first, there's actually 10, okay, 10 of them I have prepared. So the first SOP, find a quiet place to work. So during online class, you are about to work. You're going to collaborate at the same time, learn. So the environment should be a setup for a conducive place to learn. So find a location in your house or wherever you are that is free from any distraction by any of your family members, or if you have pets, you might easily get distracted with pets, so stay away from them. Also, background noises or mobile phones. So for short, find a conducive place to work during online class. That's the first one. The second SOP, you have to come prepared. So what does that mean? So just like in the regular classroom settings, we have to come to class with our materials, with our devices, or whatever necessary things that you need for that particular class, and for you to be able to fully participate in that lesson. Of course, any assignment that was scheduled for that lesson should be completed as well. Going to number 3. Mute and camera on. So that's essential. So once you log in, you mute your microphone. At the same time, turn on your camera. So virtual classrooms can get noisy really very quickly. So if there are 3 or 4, and just imagine there's about 20 of us here. So even 3 or 4 would speak at the same time, it will really get noisy really quickly. So if possible, mute your microphone. You just have to turn on once I call your names for your attendance, if you are recognized to speak. If you, example, you raise your hand, then I will recognize you. Then that's the time you unmute your microphone. So you're going to mute your microphone to keep the audio channel free of clutter and available to the speaker. Communication is also visual. So if keep your camera turned on when needed, so your classmates and me can read your visual cues. If needed, we can encourage each other with appropriate response emojis. At the same time, avoid distracting backgrounds. The next SOP or our standard operating procedure is be on time. So I have mentioned this the previous days. You have to be on time. I actually also have shown you the schedule. So please be aware of your time. Classes are relatively short, and there's generally a lot of materials to be covered. So starting on time not only shows respect. So if you start on time or you log in on time, you're also being respectful for your classmates and me as well. But it also frees up more time to ask questions or linger a little longer on more complicated subjects. So if you need to ask questions, then logging in on time would also help to clarify things. And to make sure that the class can start on time, log in a few minutes before the class begins. So I believe we have iRest, but maybe a few seconds will do that, so that you can also check with your internet issues or your device issues. By logging in earlier, you could check if there are some connection issues, then we can actually fix it during that time. So you don't have to be in a rush. The next SOP or the procedure would be to dress appropriately. So you might wonder, why do you have to dress appropriately? So just like regular school environment, the virtual classroom is also part of the school environment. So that's why we do the same dress code even during online classes. Okay, the next procedure, standard operating procedure, you have to pay attention. So class participation is mandatory, as I have mentioned during our, I think it's part of the welcome letter. Especially for your grading system, participation is there. So this will count towards your grade as well. Participation will ensure that the focus of the class is on the lesson and will help keep things organized and engaged. To be able to participate, you need to pay attention and listen so that you can respond appropriately when it's your turn to speak. So paying attention means you are also focused as well. Eat or drink during breaks. Yeah, we have break in between classes, so I suggest you do that during break time. So in general, you shouldn't engage in activities that don't contribute to the lesson. So once we are drinking or eating during class, it might distract you. So to avoid that, you can eat or drink during breaks. Next SOP, don't play during class. So I have, especially during the first day, noticed, especially boys are lovers of games. So game lovers. So please be aware of that. Not to play during our class. So don't play with your computer or other device, as mentioned before. So don't engage in these activities that don't contribute to the lesson. It's hard to work on a device that offers you a world of distraction and entertainment at the same time. So your computer should be entirely dedicated to the lesson at hand. You can't properly participate in class and check your social feed at the same time. Yeah, you get distracted if you're doing two things at a time. So again, focus on the lesson and pay attention. Be respectful and kind. So you can use the raise hand function when you want to speak. And I'm going to recognize you. Then you can listen to your teacher and classmates only, or only use the chat. But the chat, I've disabled that one, but I can enable that anytime as well. And especially if there are issues with connection. So yeah, we can do that. Refrain from using strong language or making offensive comments. Yes, I have mentioned during the first day as part of our right communication. So don't use offensive comments or words or swearing or strong languages. So you have to remember that class environments are populated with people from all walks of life. Judgment would enrich you, but you learn a lot from listening to others and trying to understand them. The next one, next SOP or standard operating procedure, have fun and be creative. So if everyone follows the rules, yeah, if everyone follows and contributes to the shared objective of all class members, then virtual classroom can be a fun and efficient way to learn. Make sure to approach it that way and be creative with the added possibilities that online classrooms and e-learning offers you. So if everyone are in the same ground or following the same rules, we can have fun. At the same time, we can be creative because we have a conducive environment for learning. So those are the 10 SOPs or standard operating procedures or classroom rules, online classroom rules. And we are going to implement that starting today. And let's take a look of the summary of those rules. This is the summary for the SOP or the standard operating procedures. There are actually 10 of them. So first, find a quiet place to work. Come prepared. Third one, mute and camera on. We have discussed that one. Be on time. Dress appropriately. Pay attention. Eat or drink during breaks. Don't play during class. be respectful and kind, and have fun and be creative. So I wish everyone that will have a productive learning environment during this online class when we follow these rules, and we'll be guided accordingly. So let's go to the Q&A portion. Is there any questions that you want to ask, or clarifications, or comments, or suggestions? Yeah, there are actually a lot of procedures or rules that we could think about, but I have summarized them in 10, and that would be enough to make as guidelines or procedures during online class. So remember, these are the SOP, or the standard operating procedures. I would say once you hear SOP, so you know what I mean. Okay, you might not get familiar with this right away, or maybe some of you are familiar with this already. Just get reminded about the SOP. So we end early. That's the end of my slideshow of the presentation. So we can use this time to, those who have not done the survey yet, we did the survey yesterday. If you have not done that one, you can use this time. You have how many minutes? You still have a few minutes, maybe 10 minutes to do those survey that we had yesterday. You can use also this time for clarifications. I will be here until the end of this period for the question and answer. And yeah, I wish everyone a great day. So see you again tomorrow. It's time for the iRest. If you have questions, you can stay, or if not, you can have an early break today. So here's the iRest workout, 20 seconds each rest. You can do these exercises for your eyes and have an early iRest. So thank you once again, everyone. And if there's no more question, then you can have an early iRest.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
I'll be here until the end of the period in case you have question or clarifications. Okay. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Take care.
Bye. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.